In the remote hills of Westmoreland stood an old Victorian mansion, hidden among gnarled trees, and a perpetual mist that clung to the land like cobwebs. The locals called it Whisper House because, on still nights, soft voices could be heard drifting from its boarded windows, even though it had been abandoned for over 50 years. Marla, a young urban explorer with a growing YouTube following, decided to investigate the house for her channel. Ignoring warnings from villagers, she packed her gear and hiked the winding path to the mansion, just as dusk began to bleed into the sky. The house greeted her like a corpse pretending to be alive, still standing but decaying from the inside out. Shutters hung like broken limbs, the front door creaked open on its own, and the scent of mold and old rot clung to the air. Inside, dust blanketed everything. Portraits with eyes that seemed too alive stared down from the walls. The floor groaned under her weight, and cold drafts slithered across her skin. But the worst part was the whispering, at first faint, like the wind. But soon it grew clearer, murmuring voices just beyond the edge of understanding. She set up her camera in the grand dining room. As night fell, the air thickened. Her breath misted in the sudden cold. The whispers grew louder. She called out, "Someone here?" Silence, then, "Yes." The voice didn't come from a speaker or her equipment. It came from the shadows. Marla spun around. Nothing. Then the camera light flickered and went out. In the darkness, footsteps padded behind her. She turned, swinging her flashlight wildly. She caught a glimpse of something, a pale face just behind her shoulder, smiling. She ran, room to room, hallway after hallway, but the house had changed. The doors led to nowhere or back into the same room she'd just left. The whispers became shrieks, laughter, screams. A voice chanted her name over and over. Marla, Marla, Marla. In one room, she found old newspaper clippings tacked to the walls. A family had once lived there. They'd vanished without a trace, except for one chilling discovery. Words scratched into the wood of the dining table. The house is hungry. Something moved in the corner of the room. Something tall, thin, and wrong. Its limbs stretched unnaturally, its head twisted at an angle that defied anatomy. Its eyes were hollow and endless. Marla ran again, but every door led back to the dining room. The house had trapped her. She screamed into the void, but no sound came out. The whispers drowned her. The camera she'd set up in the dining room was still recording. It captured the last moment clearly. Marla, staring into the lens with wide, terrified eyes, then vanishing in a sudden blur of movement. Days later, villagers found the camera on the dining room table. Nothing else. When they watched the footage, they heard it too, the whispering. And just before the tape ended, a voice said clearly,